All right, it's time now. Please confirm you can hear me. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
All right, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right, so it's now 12:10, starting of the section. So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this month's edition of the Bincom ICT Career Talk, themed mastering the intersection of tech expertise and business strategy. In today's rapidly evolving landscape, being a great coder or a brilliant strategist is no longer enough. True success lies in the ability to bridge that gap. Joining us today in this section are two seasoned professionals who will be sharing insights from their wealth of experience, showing us exactly how to navigate this intersection to build a global effective career. So I will encourage us to do well to have your pens and sheets ready to note your questions, as this promises to be a highly interactive and transformative section. We have decided to dedicate the Q&A segment where you can engage directly with our experts. So thank you for being here, and let's get started. So our first speaker today is Aminat. Aminat is the head of finance at Suppliers Technologies and a seasoned finance professional with over 12 years of experience across Nigeria's media and venture-backed fintech centers, including Ebony Life with Clasher and Wallet Africa. Aminat has raised millions in funding, led strategic partnership with Visa and major banks, and built robust financial systems that transforms chaotic operations into compliance-ready auditable structures. She is a fellow chartered accountant who recently passed CFA Level 2, and she perfectly embodies our team by blending strong technical expertise with innovative, technology-driven problem solving. She builds the dashboards, controls, and tools that help startups scale efficiently and sustainably. Aminat is deeply passionate about using technology, practical innovations to make finance simpler, smarter, and more accessible for businesses. So let's all do well to welcome Mrs. Aminat section. Ms. Aminat, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good
Yeah,
afternoon.
thanks for having me.
Hi, welcome. I believe you can share your screen. Can you share your screen?
Apologies. I wasn't able to put together a few slides, but I have my points notes down that I have to discuss. My week was a bit very hectic, so I apologize. I don't have a deck to share today. Shall I apologize for that? Yeah. Well, I'll try to come up with my camera now. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think it's up now. So you want me to go ahead, or you are introducing the second speaker?
No, you can go ahead.
Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. Yeah, as I mentioned, my name is Aminat, and I'm glad to be here. Just to be able to share few experience that I've had for the couple of years that I've been in the industry and all that. Basically on the theme today is just for us to understand the how to marry the tech part with the business part. Actually, I think simply putting is how to make sure when you're building something, you're actually building something that makes sense, or something that is going to add value, or something that is going to make impact. And if you're an entrepreneur, eventually the end goal is for you to make money. So it's not about I have an idea. It's about how you can convert that idea to something impactful and something that is going to like have a lot of impact in your life, the life of people that is surrounding you, and the world as one, basically. So looking at I will just try to break it down in a simple term, and if you have, as like, if you are convinced in anything, you can just like raise your hand and just cut in. I like my session to be very interactive and all that. So pretty much there's, as in like, when you're about starting a startup, you have an idea, maybe you're in your room and you come up with an idea, and is a problem that you are facing on a day-to-day, and you just feel like, why, if I'm facing this problem, maybe multiple other people are facing this problem, then you're thinking about how can I come up with a solution to that problem. And when you're coming about the solution to that problem, you're just thinking about it just on your own, and later on, you're now having conversation with your friends and saying that this problem, there should be a way to solve it. There should be something to build. Like when we're thinking about the fintech comes up when we're thinking about how to get people in the remote area have access to fund, have access to cash seamlessly. They don't have to leave their house, walk miles to get to bank to be able to have access to the money. That's where all this idea comes from. And then someone just come up and say that I can build it too. I can build something for you to be able to just from your phone to be able to have access to the bank and be able to get money out and be able to have access to other things. So while you are thinking about the solution, sometimes basically our tech brothers and sisters just think about building a solution. They don't usually think about what is going to the business part about it, like, because most of them does not really have the background of business, like, so there's always like, oh, I'm building this product, let me just build this product and get it out there. And sometimes there is no feasibility study done to be able to understand whether that problem is actually like a huge problem. So sometimes you could be facing a particular problem that is just for you, and you think is a general problem that is going to solve a lot of. So instance is like you build a product and you think you'll be able to scale large, but the business, that type of, some products are just meant to scale small, and by the time you decide to scale large, you crash, because the product is not meant for a large what's it called, a large environment sometimes. So that's when you have, before you think about it's important for founders or for anybody in this industry to understand the business part of the product. So as you are trying to build a product, you need to understand the unit economics, the what's it called, the customer need. Basically, you've done your research, look for your target audience, do your addressable marketing, get all those information. Then you now say, oh, I want to build a product. So I could have scenarios whereby basically I think when I first transitioned to startup, it was new to me entirely. Then I started seeing a lot of things. Then I had to start coming with a lot of solution. My background was from media, so I've never worked in a bank. So moving from media to a fintech was like tedious, basically. So the transition was not easy. So I have to do a lot of research about what's going on, like what's this about, what's this tech thing about. And my first startup that I worked with basically were into their fintech. So they were into like just typical bank transaction. You're doing transfers, you can what's it called? You can convert. Then what's it called? Bitcoin was still a thing, was a lot of things. So you can convert Bitcoin to Naira and all sorts of things. So I have to sit down to understand how they build the products, because initially there was like, okay, you're building a product, a financial product that you're just thinking about it in your what's it called, the way the customer is transacting. So you're just recording a customer move out money from this wallet, they move out 10,000. You just record it as one transaction. Who is receiving the money? Do you understand? So there was no record of that. So I have to sit down to understand how the product was built, and also like now sit down with the product manager to come up with a better way of keeping the database accurate, so that you ensure that there is no fraud. You ensure that there's accuracy in the money, and what you are recording in your database can mirror the actual money in your bank account. Because by the time you have what's it called, by the time you miss it, then there will be like inconsistencies in your record. So you have to sit down with the product, what's it called, product manager, to come up with was a microservice, build a microservice for the company, for the fintech there, whereby for every transaction that is recorded, it's being recorded twice, so it's two legs. So it's like marrying accounting with tech. Basically, you ensure that for every movement of money out of these accounts is showing where the money is landing, even if the money is not landing into your account, but it's recording it that another person is receiving the fund. So with that, there was like a proper documentation, a proper way of reconciling the balances that you have in your own database, even with the payments gateway that you partner with, so that there will be like proper reconciliation and all that. And also being able to take a step forward to understand the flow of the transactions, because you need to understand the flow of the product transactions to be able to know that whether the business is actually making money. Because sometimes you're building a product, you're not even thinking about the money, the unique economies you're what's it called, the money you'll be making from it. So you're not thinking about the cost you'll be paying, the payments gateway you're partnering with, or the other APIs that you are plugging into. So when this product is being built, basically, the tech team does not really understand. They don't really think about the cost price. What they are about is, I'm building a solution and I need it to work. I need to work. So as the person in on the other side of the operation, so I'm always like very keen about, okay, all this API we're plugging into, what's the cost implication? At the end of the day, does this cost implication make sense to the revenue we'll be generating on each of these transactions? So by the time you're looking at that, you based on each transaction, you'll be able to come up with something that is going to pretty much be reasonable to say that, oh, this business is viable at the end of the day. So there has to be a way to marry the two. It's not just thinking about, I have an idea, not just thinking about, I have an idea and I can convert it to a product, then everybody needs to be using the product. It's about, does that product even have an addressable market? Does anybody have interest? Is it a product that is scalable? Basically, it's something that you will be able to build and you scale on, basically. And what's it called? There's future prospects. You are thinking about it from year one, and by year 5, I should be in. If you are building a product to say, oh, I'm launching in Nigeria first, then I'm going to every other African country. I believe that you think that the product that you're building in Nigeria is a solution for a problem in Nigeria to be solved. That same problem exists in Kenya or Ghana or South Africa or other African countries that you're looking at, because every country has their own specific risk, and apart from the general economy risk of Africa itself, there are country-specific risk in all these regions. So those are the things that you need to take consideration while building the products, and why building the product to scale to other countries, basically. I think I'll stop here. I don't know whether there's questions. I don't know whether I've addressed what you guys are looking forward to, basically. So Douglas.
Yeah, yes, that was. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you. Yeah.
That was pretty insightful. It's fascinating to see how high-level finance and technology can be moving together. Yes. All right. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
the presentation. All right. So before we move to the next speaker, I would like to take just a few moments to talk about the bridge to global tech success and how we are facilitating that here at Bincom Dev Center. So we often hear that tech is the future, but the real magic happens at the intersection of tech expertise and business strategy. It's not just about writing code, just as our the first speaker said. It's about building solutions that solve real problems. That is exactly what we do at Bincom Dev Center. We aren't just a training center, we're a multi-location talent development and solution platform designed to launch you to the global stage. To bridge that gap between knowing and doing, we offer 3 distinct pillars of service. First is building talent. Through the Bincom Global Tech Program, we offer a 1-2 year deep dive where you learn the skills, gain the experience, and get the global exposure to be competitive anywhere in the world. We offer a learn tech now and pay later option through an income sharing to make it accessible to everyone. Secondly, for those who are looking at building experience, we have the labs by Bincom. And this is our pre-incubator program. Here, you don't just study theory, you spend 3 to 6 months doing actual data products used by live users. And then lastly, we have the global community. Yeah, and for experts, basically. This is meant for experts who are ready to take their strategy international. Our MA-based services provides tech-enabled pathways to live and work in countries like the UK, the USA, Canada, France. We help you become globally attractive, whether you are technical or business side of tech. Whether you're looking for an intensive 4-week class at Bincom Academy to sharpen a specific skill, could be graphic designing, um, could be cybersecurity, it could be infrastructure and DevOps and the likes. You can visit us at bincom.net or reach out to any of our team members today or via email. And let's build the next victim together. I'll be dropping the various links in the chat box so you can follow it. And moving right along to our next segment. So you can you just hear me, Nemiko?
Yes, I can.
All right.
Yeah, I can hear you, Mr. Douglas. I have a question, if that's okay.
Okay. Although the Q&A section is meant after the second speaker.
Oh, okay, no problem.
All right, you can just save it for after the second speaker, speaker. Thank you, Michael. All right, now moving on to the next speaker, we have Zakari Mohammed. And he is a software developer and an entrepreneur who has spent years turning complex ideas into impactful product that solves real world problems. With a strong foundation in building MVPs and a deep understanding of the startup ecosystem, Zakari has mastered the art of moving fast without sacrificing results. Today, he is on a mission to help entrepreneurs and startups bring their vision to life affordably and efficiently. By leveraging the power of AI to accelerate development, Zakari specializes in delivering MVPs in as little as 2 weeks, empowering founders to test their ideas faster, scale smarter. He is currently documenting his journey towards the $1 million goal, one MVP at a time, through his platform, school.com. Please join me in welcoming a true expert in fast building, Zakari. Zakari Mohammed, are you there? Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, and thank you, Douglas, for your warm introduction. Can you guys hear me clearly? Hello?
Yes, I can hear
Yeah.
you.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, we
Uh,
can hear you. Good afternoon.
uh, yeah, good afternoon. All right, thank you, Douglas, for that warm introduction, like you said. And I have some few I have donkey years in the tech industry, and I've been in the tech space. And the title of this the topic of this conversation or event is saying the mastering the intersection between tech experts and the business strategy. So can you start sharing slide before I proceed so I don't have to stop by.
So I didn't get what you said. Come again.
Can you share the slide before I start proceeding so I don't have to
Okay, all right.
for
Let
some
all
while?
right, let
Yeah.
me get it on my screen. Give me a second. Just a moment, you my screen soon.
That's the problem.
All right, still loading. 2 minutes. Okay. All right, can you see my screen?
I think it's loading. Oh, okay. I can see the screen right now.
All right,
Okay.
thank you.
So like he has introduced me, I'm Zachary Mohammed, and I've been in the tech industry for more than 10 years now. And my original background was a developer, but over the years, I had to transition into entrepreneurship, which invariably equipped me with the business skills that I had currently. And I had a BSc in my first degree in mathematics, computer science. But because of the need for this transition, I had to do my master's in business administration to really make this work for me. And I'm so happy to discuss a topic that kind of uh, walk in line with my career, kind of. And yeah, so coming to the topic for today, which is the mastering the intersection of tech expert and business value. So what this means, in my experience or in my knowledge, is it doesn't really necessarily discuss the tech guys or it's kind of touched both ways. Like, if you're a tech guy, this affects you. If you're a business guy, where this equally affect you because you wouldn't go smoothly. You wouldn't be a professional without this. You wouldn't be a professional business guy or professional. A business wouldn't start. Wouldn't be as successful without the tech or the business. If you're operating in the tech industry, business wise. So we can move down to the first slide. Can you scroll up or down? Maybe you can tap. I don't know if you put in a presentation mode. Yeah. So like I say, we know a lot of companies they do businesses and we talk about technology everywhere, software programming everywhere. But in reality, we wouldn't see a success. There's no point doing technology if it's not really solving the problem, and it's not really a problem, a business problem, the problem that can bring. So if I say a business problem, we have a lot of problems. Like I can solve a problem that doesn't really bring money. I wouldn't classify that problem as a business problem. So every problem that you solve that eventually bring money, income, it's what I classify as business problem. So to my thinking, or what I can say entirely is technology doesn't really make sense if it doesn't really solve a business problem or create revenue. And the real advantage, like I say here, if you're a professional and if you want to get the most out of technology, is when you get to know the business part and the technology part. That's going to make you solid in the future that we're going right now. Okay, about me, I've discussed about me, and maybe you can slide this because I've discussed a few stuff about me. You can move on. Okay, we can start with the problem anyway. Everything that we're trying to discuss, if you're discussing stuff and there's no reason for what you're discussing, it doesn't really make logical sense. So in this case or in this context, we're trying to attribute some problem to the other way that what I'm trying to say, we're trying to attribute a problem that we can discuss on. So for me, I see the problem as many startups, like if just like the previous speaker has said, a lot of people just decide to think about a product that they want to build and just start building it. Eventually, the stuff didn't even work out, or they get halfway and they realize the problem or what they are building doesn't really solve any problem at all. So what I see as a problem here, many projects, people starting projects of startups, for me, I can say startups a project anyway. So people starting projects and they tend to a lot of project fails because not because they don't really know the skills, the technical skills. Like I mean, many people just start building product. Eventually, most times, the developers or the technical guys like it's so easy for them to just bring up the laptop and just start coding and building software project. So I see a lot of projects fail not because they don't really have great tech or they don't really build awesome project. But the reason why it's faced is because they don't really have a business strategy inculcated into that project or into the startup that they're really working on. And this is what most times is fail. Like if you're one way forward, like you are just tech guy, just building whatever you feel like building. Eventually it's going to fail. And if you're even the business guy, like you don't even consider technology, you just you just thinking of business ideas and how really you can really execute that, it wouldn't even work. Like you wouldn't even go nowhere because you just only thinking business. Like you don't even have the infrastructure, the business, the technical infrastructure. So I mean, the intersection between these two aspects is really so important that we just have to discuss. Can you go to the next slide? Okay, I try to bring us up key terms. We wouldn't go really deep in this topic, but I just want to highlight some key stuff that really gonna make much sense. Maybe by these analogies, we're probably gonna understand what I'm trying to say. So in reality, like I say in the beginning, the aspect of the topic really affect both personalities. You could be either technical guy, maybe the programmers or whatever technology you're doing based on technical tech, or you could be the business guy, like whatever you're thinking of doing, how you want to build strategies and all of that. You could be any of these guys, but without an intersection, like I said initially, without you bringing both ideas together, a project wouldn't really work. And we're gonna look at more once we go along. Can you screw them? Okay, I try to get some differentiators factors. Like what I mean by differentiating factors is if you're a tech guy, there's a lot of stuff that you could say that's just based on what you felt is right. Like you're 100% sure this what you're saying is right, like because you know better what you're saying. And if you're a business guy, there's a lot of stuff that you could say that you know is just the right thing. And I just laid on the table here saying the two mindset. Like if you're a technical guy, the kind of questions that you're gonna ask, maybe it doesn't something just came up, like you got a problem or something like that. All you think about is can we build that? Like, can we build this? Like, you know, it's easy for you to just go build because you got the skills to build the software, the coding part. So all you think as a tech guy is, can we build this? Can we do this? And if you have the other mind as a business guy, all the person is going to think about is, should we build it? Like you're saying, can we? Because you know you got skills. The business guy, what he's going to say is it really important that we build this? Like, does it really, will it really make sense? Will it bring money? Like, who's going to pay? Like, he's only talk about how can you make profit when you build this. Another one is the idea. Like, if in the sense of idea, like trying to come up with an idea for anything, not really a business entity, but maybe there's a solution or some part of the business, there are some ideas going to spring up. If you're a technical guy, most things you could say is, oh, these features would be great to have. Like maybe there's an existing product and maybe on the brainstorming section or strategy section. Or you could say as a business, as a technical guy, oh, we can add this feature because it's going to make more sense, but you don't even analyze the future. Like you already know if you build a future, you're gonna have a flashy button or whatever it is. Like you feel good while building the future. And you could say, can we have this feature? But as a business guy, what they could ask, what they could say in such an ideal study cases they could say, will they pay for it, or does it really solve a problem? Like, this is a feature that you can build that looks so flashy, but a business guy will ask, the feature you're trying to build, will it really solve a problem? Like, will it add up to a problem solving in this whole entire platform that we have, or whatever context that you're trying to discuss on that instance? We got the leadership part. If you're a leader as a tech guy, and you're a leader as a business guy, most cases, most times you could, because you're the head of lead technology, or you were the head of the technology people, and you build a system. People say, "Oh, the system is so scalable. Like, we know we build so much technology, it's going to be so scalable." But as a business head, or as a business someone that's leading the team, all he could think was, who is scaling with us? Like, if you got a scalable technology, if there's no one on the platform, how is this going to scale? Like, who is going to scale with it? Like, if you don't really have people using it, how do you even scale? How do you get to the point where it's scaled? So there's a disparity in how people think in terms of tech, and in terms of business. Until we find out have both in common, we're gonna have so much problem. And we have the last one, which is on opportunity. Uh, it's what is that even? So opportunity. So what I mean is, maybe you got product that you want to go sell, or you want to talk to someone about it, and all you could say is, "Oh, this," because you build this stuff and you're a technology guy, you have all the skills to build a solid system. Or you could say, "Oh, this is so working perfectly, like it works so perfectly." But does anyone cares enough to really use it? Like, I could build a system because I'm a technical guy. I know the skills. It's easy for me. And these days, I could just use an AI to just generate all of this stuff, and I have a perfect system that's working. This is me as a technology guy. Like, I have built everything and it's perfectly working. But do I even know if people need it? Like, do I even know if it solves a really painful problem that people can even pay for it? I know the system is perfect, but is it really perfect in terms of solving the problem that people are really requesting for? And until we're able to join both, like I say, often and often, we're gonna have a lot of projects or businesses is gonna fail. This is something that is covered in my view. Can you move this a little bit? Like, no, 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 no. On the same page, like, I have the, I have something. No, no, no. Can you go back to the same page? Just a little stuff that I want to discuss about. No, up, up, up. Can you go back to the previous page, like the previous slide?
All right, all right. I'm trying to do that. Give me a sec.
Uh,
I mean, this.
yeah, can you zoom it again? Like, can you study the presentation mode? No, I mean the presentation mode, not really this.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I discussed more on this, and what I say in the ending was the lady going downward. Like, there's a lot of problem. Like, you can't deal with the tech, you can't deal with the with the business. So the most valuable professionals, like I said today, can answer. Like, if you're already in that interception stage, you can answer both. Like, you can fit into both tables, columns. Like, you can answer the questions, you can get the ideas. So you can have something that match both. Like, if you're already in the intersection, like the place that we are aspiring to become, or we are aspiring to be, if you're already in the stage, you could answer you can fit in these two columns of being engineer and the business. I know I could be. I used to say this a lot of time because I know my origin, my beginning is tech, and I know I spent so much years in the tech space. And a lot of people are gonna say probably would be a little bit biased towards the technology, towards the tech guys, because it's not really any issue anymore. Can you move to the next slide? Okay, having said all of that, we could give a rewards examples of what people could say and what would be the ideal intersection that we could really follow or we could really abide to. So if you're giving an example between building an API or you build a food product, a technical mindset, like if you're in tech mindset, what are you gonna say? Oh, let's build a whole platform. Like let's just build it. Like it's so easy. We can build all of these projects within 2 months, 3 months. We got skills and all of that. But the business guy, like he's looking at, okay, how long could this be, and who is going to even pay for like who is going to pay? How fast? Like if we're taking the whole 6 months to build this product, are we sure that after building it, other competitors or other people wouldn't have still the whole customers or wouldn't have maybe customers wouldn't even need it again because it took so long time and all of that. So they're scared of all of this long time project building and building the whole stuff without even testing the market. Like you just building the whole product and all of it. And if you're in a situation like this, the first thing you can do is you could start with APIs. Like you can build a minimal APIs and expose it out to really test how it works. You can charge per API call. You can charge credits before you go ahead bringing the whole entire system. You can. It's like a minimum viable product, even though it's not really. I know there's a lot of businesses that operate on as API, but if you're contemplating between the API and the full project, best thing you can do as an intersection guy or someone with a mindset of both business and tech, you could start saying we build an API first, we test how it works and all of that. We can charge per API call and let the customer even integrate it into their existing infrastructures. If it's really important for us to have the whole project in future, we can build a whole project in future. So it's like a good intersection for use case like this. Can you go forward again? So this is another example for the AI boost board. Everybody's like AI is everywhere. So we got AI hype, but the AI value. So as a technology guy or a tech guy, like I say, everything is so easy for them to do. And he could say, "Oh, everybody wants AI. We can build another AI. We can do model. We can train a model. We can do all of that stuff because AI is just everywhere." But as a business mindset, if you're thinking as a business mindset, what are you going to think about is, could this really save costs? Like, could this really generate money? Could it make operation faster? Could it solve a problem? Could it make us more money? And the intersection we discussed here, or we try to analyze here, is don't really say AI model. Developers can go ahead and say, oh, because they really have skills, they could just go ahead building AI models and all of that. But you don't do that. If you got an intersection mindset, what you do is you don't really set the model, you set the outcomes, like outcome. What's the outcome of all of this? Like you're building AI, people love AI. After building the AI, what really you trying to solve? Like, what are you trying to solve? Like, you're not just building AI for building AI's sake, but you really need to solve a problem. Does it really reduce fraud by X% in the business? Does it really generate more money? Does it really make the work of someone so easy like this percent? So all of this is what you're gonna check before you start doing anything. And we can remove next. Okay, so we say what's the real intersection here? Like, we discuss the comparison and all of that. We see on the comparison and the intersection. This is everything anyway. So what I'm trying to say here is you're a tech expert and you're a business expert. In your head as a tech guy, all you ever think of was Oh, architecture, API, scalability, security, programming language, automation, infrastructure. That's all you discuss. Like you keep saying all the buzzword about tech, with or scalability, load balancer, what's the other stuff again? Uh, Catching system, whatever it is, you just keep saying all of that. If you're a business guy, all you say is revenue, customer pain point, cost, risks. You always say things about business, how this gonna value people, what's the expense that you're gonna spend on this, how much you gonna even realize after all of this, how will they even sell this stuff, how people even get this stuff. So all you think as a business guy is towards the money. So, and it's so important for you to really bring the intersection. This is why I would say the real intersection here is if you're a tech guy, you don't just build ahead, you don't just go ahead building stuff. You choose what to build. Like you don't really build everything. Like you think of everything you start building. Like the first speaker said, you really need to analyze the end goal. Like this stuff you're building does it really have a market? Not like like she said, which is so important. No, not every product really have a larger market. Like you could have some products running as a small, they're profitable as a small business, but when you try to scale or you try to expand, they break. Like it's not really fitting for the higher market. So you really need to do all analogy before you start building, and you just build enough to win. Like what I mean, but build enough to win. Like in the other case of API versus the full project, you don't need the whole project because the actual stuff that you try to build could be exposed to the API, which is faster to go to the market. And in terms of the MVP, sometimes you could build a minimum viable product, the minimum stuff that can work the product, and you just ship it before you even scale or before you start building the whole project. This is what I mean, but you just build enough tech to win. Then you do designing that makes money. Okay, designing a system that makes money. Yeah, So you don't build because you want to build for the fun of it. If you're really serious-minded entrepreneur or someone who want to get to intersection of the tech and the business, you don't just build stuff because I know there's a lot of tech guys that just build stuff for project, but I'm not talking about these people. So you build to really make money. So whatever you're trying to build, you think of the business part of it. If it's not really something that's going to generate money, I'm not sure it's really important. You just do stuff like that. And the goal is not really the perfect product, like the perfect code. Like we all say, it's not really about the code. It's about if it's really profitable, scalable, or does it really solve a problem? Does it really go? So it's not really how the code is because no one even care about your code. Like the customer don't even know your code. They always see what problem is being solved and they move on. Can you move to the next slide? Okay, we know we talk about the comparison a lot. So what we're trying to say here is how do you even think like a tech business project guys? Like if haven't seen the comparison, the different aspects, how would it even think as a programmer? I see I'm a little bit biased, but aspect of tech. Like I was supposed to discuss both parties. Like if you're a business guy and you're trying to execute a project or the processes, if you're a tech guy, I know I'm a tech guy, so I choose to explain the tech guy. So if you're a tech guy and you're trying to hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Oh, sorry, I got a call. Okay, so I was saying, if you're a tech guy and you're trying to build something like before you could even like if you want to act like a business tech strategy, I call it business tech strategy. That's like an intersection. You don't just write code. Like before you even start writing the code, you're gonna ask yourself some questions like, who is paying for this? Like, who are even building this? Like, even if you're bidding for it, who's going? Like, I have a situation where in the beginning I was building code like everybody. Like I read so much code. Like I'm building stuff that solve problem. I know it solve a problem. Like I know it's really solve a problem, but I never did some business strategy on who's gonna pay for it. Like, you know, if you're a tech guy, you could build a project that's solving the problem, but you're gonna ask yourself, who is really gonna pay for it? Maybe your project is kind of so helping other businesses, customers. So what I mean is, if I give an example for, let's say, I know we had a conversation one time, but if I give example for like hospital, like when we're discussing on the queue system, like if you go to the hospital right now, you see a lot of like the public hospital, the general hospitals. You just find out so much queues, people waiting on all of that. And as a tech guy, then we were thinking, oh, we could solve a problem of this queue, like the queue and all of that. But you build a solution for that stuff. Like you build a solution for the queue stuff. Now, when you go to the hospital now, the personnel in the hospital, they don't really care about the queue. Like they don't really care about it. The people complaining about the queue are the people on the queue. So they are really the one complaining about the queue. And if you're gonna sell stuff to the hospital, they wouldn't even care much because it's not really something that bothers them. They're out there doing the work, they're attending to people. If they get to a point where they close, they close. So you are the queue, you're the one who's suffering, and if you're selling the product, the hospital wouldn't buy it. And the queue people wouldn't buy it either because they don't really go to the hospital every day. So why are they going to buy it? Why are they going to pay for it? Like, if I go to the hospital today, I may not even go to the hospital for the next how many months. So different people keep going to the same hospital, and you end up building nothing. Like nobody's going to buy your product. So stuff like that, you're going to analyze, do some research before you start building solutions. And I say, what's the fastest version, which is the minimum viable product? You can build all the APIs for whatever version you can ship faster to make money. That's what you should do. What happens when usage grow? It's like, when I say it's scalable, who's scaling with us? So you just need to think the business part and technology part being scalable at the same time. So all of this, what's happened when it's break and all of that. So if you can answer this, you're already operating at the intersection. So if you're already thinking like this, you're already operating in the intersection point. That's what I mean. Yeah, you can move to the next one. Okay, I know you don't just start doing stuff the way you should do. You need to learn stuff and you need to be skilled in other way. Like you're a tech guy, it's not really easy for you to just transition into business. You're a business guy, it's not really easy for you to transition into tech. So, there's a lot of skills that we can learn, and some of the skills are, if you're into technology, programming, and all of that, you can start learning programming language. No, I know if you're technology, all the skills that you're gonna learn or you already have could be the programming language, the system design, all of that. So the need for you to learn the business part, which is kind of basic finance. You need a pricing model, you need a customer discovery, all of that for you to really be balanced into the journey. So these are some of the skills that you have to learn as an individual. I know there's a caveat if you're operating in a business as a business because the topic really doesn't really. I know the topic is so broad if you look at it because we got individuals being uh being two-headed. Like you either be a business, like you can merge two, and we got a business part. So if you're operating the business part, I didn't say that much, but I can just say a little bit about business. As an individual in the business, you don't necessarily need to be best of both worlds, but you can learn to inculcate other people that has the skills that you needed. So a business is not really about single person. Like you don't really need to have all the skills merged together. You could be good in your technical part of your thing. You know you're not good in the business. What you do is you just go get a partner that's good in business, and you merge two together. So all I'm trying to say is for a project to be successful, business to be successful, you just have to bring both together. It's either you're a single guy with both knowledge, or you are two guys with different knowledge coming together to form one alliance, and you move on with a speed. So can you move to the next slide? Let me see. Okay, this is like a conclusion note anyway. So what I'm trying to say, the future belongs to those who can translate business problem into technical solutions and technical constraints into business decisions. So if you're someone that's got the business and the technical acumen, the world is the future is yours, because I know that AI is first there trying to remove people from work. But if you got the business and the business and the tech skill, you don't need to be so techy, or you don't need to be so business, but you just need to have these two skills together, and the future is going it's going to be solid for you anyways. Yeah, can you move to the next one, Lucy? Oh, okay. So I think that's the end of the presentation. If you got questions, you can ask at this point.
All right. I can still share my screen, right?
I don't think so. If you want to do that, maybe if you got something to do, you can just remove. I think the slide that's the end of the slide. If you go down, it's a thank you.
All right, no
So I
problem. It's
think,
fine then.
yeah.
All right, Michael. Before we go ahead, let's thank you so much, Mr. Zakai, for the presentation. And yeah, I really got my key takeaway from the end of the presentation where you said the future belongs to those who can translate businesses and business problems into technical solutions and gap constraints into solutions. Yeah, I really key into that. So, Michael, you can ask a question. Others who have questions can also raise their hands. Michael, you can go ahead.
Okay, good day, everyone. Thank you for the presentation. It was really insightful. So my question is, while like the technical professionals are encouraged to think of or encouraged to think like business strategists, I understand where you're coming from about trying to integrate or intersect technical strategies with business strategy. But the reality is that there are a lot of technical professionals that don't yet have the skills to cover both like the business side and the technical sides of things, especially in the early life of their startup. They might be too focused on the technical aspects of things, trying to make the product itself work. And given that many startups fail due to weak business alignment rather than the bad tech itself, when should or what advice would you give to the technical teams, and when should they bring business rules like the analyst or the product strategists? Is it before building or in the middle or maybe after early validation? Just trying to have an understanding of where the business strategy should be intersected. Is it before the product starts being worked on or after validation?
Yeah, thank you so much for the question. Like I say, I gave instance of individuals trying to have two-headed individuals, or if you're a business and you're trying to make a startup, you don't necessarily need to be individual trying to have two heads. You could have someone that's got the skills that you're missing, and you combine together. So I know you say there's a lot of tech guys that don't really have a skill, the business strategy skills, and they trying to do stuff. So normally, what you should do as aspirant entrepreneur, it's if you don't really have business skills, you should try and look for a partner that's what's the name again? Uh, there's a word that I'm trying to say, but I can't really remember. But you should try and look for a partner that's business oriented. Yeah, he's a business oriented. You know the technology, but he's got the business key. So ideally, you don't hire people in the early stage if you're trying to build. You don't really have the resources or the financial resources to hire people. So what you do is to partner with someone who's got interest in what you're trying to build, and he's a business oriented person. He knows strategy. And if you want to build, like we all say, you don't just start building, you do some little inquiry. What you trying to do? People, do they really want it? Is it something that you solve a problem? Like what I did in the past was, if I trying to build something like this, so I don't even build anything. Like I could just build a mock-up, just a page that really collects people information, and you could push people. Like it's a page. Maybe you're trying to build I don't know what now, but you're trying to build a mobile app for the hospital, or you're trying to build a TikTok app or something like that. You don't go ahead building the stuff. And maybe I'm saying from if you go to intersection, but ideally you don't really go ahead building the stuff entirely. You could build an MVP page, like an empty page that would describe the product, the value, whatever you're offering, and you could have a button for people to subscribe to it or to so when people click on the button, what you just tell them is enter your information, and you only trying to see if people really have an interest in trying to sign up. Like if you have an MVP or a mock-up out there and no one even cares sign up, like you trying to do some marketing, you push people around to go to the landing page and engage with it. But a lot of people don't even care sign up. You know, it's not really something that really affects them. But if you do a mock-up that is not really a product, but you just want to test the water to see how people really engage with this, if people really commit to submitting information, entering the email, the name or phone number or whatever you ask from them, and they really do that, you know they got interest, and you can go ahead to start building stuff like that. So does that really does that really answer your question?
Monio, are you there?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Mrs. Haminas, would you like to add? Can go ahead with questions.
Nothing too hard. What's it called? Zachary has like addressed the most part, the key points, which is like if you don't have the idea, you partner. As you said, you can't avoid to hire when when you are starting a startup because you don't have the bandwidth. So pretty much is the idea is partner with someone that has the business strategy knowledge to be able to give you business insights on it. And also starts with MVP, as you said, which is the key part. Yeah, thanks.
All right. Thank you so much. And I also have a question. And to the public, if anyone has a question, you can kindly raise up your hand, and then I'll see you, and then I'll call you up. So for my question is more realistic though. But I would like to ask if anyone of the speakers can describe the time when you saw a business opportunity that others missed because they didn't understand the underlying technology. Um, that's my question.
I'm not sure I heard you right.
I didn't get it also. So I
Okay.
wanted to.
Okay, all right. I was talking about opportunities. So I was saying, can you describe a time when you saw a business opportunity that others missed because they didn't understand the underlying technology?
Okay, if I can reiterate, Can you describe a time when you saw an opportunity that
Yes,
you can dive in because other people don't really have the skills or what like that? Like I'm just trying to really get it.
yes,
Like,
something like that.
you know, there's a lot of opportunities hidden like in the ecosystems. Like everywhere there's opportunity, but we fail to realize the potentials or the the existence of such opportunities. You know, most times you identify opportunity when you had an issue similar to what is already existing, but other person doesn't really have that same issue, so he wouldn't even see the opportunity for that. So if you're in a situation where I may not say people don't really have the skills, but a lot of opportunities are hidden because uh, they're not really they're not really open to the people like oh you can see opportunity if you're in a situation where you identify a problem like you're in that situation you are in the situation not like you say maybe you went to the hospital like I said you find a queue you know that's a problem maybe you're in your company you're working with a company you are having some works that's so tedious to you and you don't really enjoy the work
Yeah,
you know, it's an opportunity. It's like an opportunity for you to do something. You have a colleague that's so complaining of what he's doing and all of that. It's an opportunity. You go to some other stuff to do, maybe, I don't know, but you go anywhere to the businesses and maybe you're being stressed while trying to sign up, while trying to buy stuff. It's an opportunity that you alone have seen, but other people wouldn't see the opportunity because they never felt that pain, or they haven't been in the situation where they see pain. So they could identify some other opportunity that you never see. So I mean, opportunities are everywhere, but sometimes until you're trying to realize what people face, or you try to see how a process go, and identify if really this process is supposed to be this or it's supposed to be improved. At that point, you can realize this opportunity. And if you're talking about skills, I'm not sure people really don't have the skills, but if you don't have the skills and you identify the problem, you could easily, if you have the intersection of the business tech, or you don't even have the tech, but you have the business and you identify a problem, you can easily find someone to say, oh, you can do this stuff. So idea of skills, I don't know, but I know opportunities are hidden. But you can
yeah.
identify if you happen to be in that situation.
All right, right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. And I also have another question. Um, and it goes like this. How do you decide when a technical failure is just a setback versus a signal that the entire business strategy needs to change?
How do you identify when a technical what?
When a technical failure is just a setback
Is that
versus
okay?
a signal that the entire business strategy needs to change.
Oh come on, man! This is so obvious. Like this are two different stuff anyway. Like if you got a technical issue, but there's a lot of people using the project. Like you got so much influx of customers trying to use, but there's an issue technical wise. You need the business is flourishing. Like you just need to fix the technical issue, make the business work. But if you got a technical issue, there's no business, there's no people coming in. You know, maybe just half the people at that point. So I don't know if that's what you mean, but if that's what you mean, it's just
Yeah,
obvious. Like if there's a technical issue, there's a business issue at the same time. No, there's no business. Like there's no customers. People don't even care about the business. Like you try all you could, no one is even coming to buy stuff that you are selling. And at the same time, you got technical issue. Like obviously, you just help people. But if you got technical issue, but there's so much people out there trying to buy the stuff, even though there's an issue, but you know people still have interest trying to patronize you. you know the business is good, but the issue you got is a technical one, which you just gotta fix and you move on.
Oh, yeah, I get that. Miss Amiat, you're unmuting. Would you like to say something?
Yeah, actually wanted to get the question right before, but after I got what you what's it called, what the question is basically. So as he said, it's always very obvious. If there's a technical issue, it's something that is feasible, or as like you can fix it. Like once there is business, technical issue is like just a minor setback that you can just work on to get to the. But if it's a business issue, it's actually something that you have to, or you now have, if it's a business issue, you need to strategize and say that whether the product is really sellable or not, or something, or you've started like even like the product. Sometimes you could have, and the instance I've seen is that you could even have a viable product, but the business strategy does not really make sense. Like, so when I'm saying the business strategy does not make sense, is like instances whereby you're thinking about, I want to break into markets. I have a lot of competitors and all that. And you're thinking about, how do I break into these markets with these competitors? And you think about it in a way of your cost of acquisition, and you push up your cost of acquisition to the extent that it eats like, it's like 200% of the revenue that you're making. So your cost is more than your revenue from inception. I've seen startup that does it. So it's crazy, whereby you're just thinking about, oh, I need to bring in customers, and shows that there's tractions and all that, and you are eating into your cost, you are increasing your cost, and you're not making a significant revenue. And automatically is eating into your capital, is eating into your equity. So at the end of the day, the business is going to go down because there's no revenue to sustain the business in the long run. And pretty much you're thinking, oh, okay, early days of startup, you think about numbers of customers that you have on board, numbers of volume of transaction that you're transacting. Nobody thinks about the revenue part. It's now that we start thinking about it. So because of the focus on the volume of transaction being processed, the volume of customer that you are, they try to go to the extreme end to acquire the customers. So while you're trying to acquire these customers, you're using the cost that you're using to acquire the customers is even more than the revenue you are making from the customers. So automatically your cost is more than your revenue. So there is no revenue to sustain the business in the long run. So for that kind of, the products may make sense and you see people buying it. But another thing is, we have this idea as like, there's this what was it called? As Nigerians, there is always like, the way we think about things is, we are always, if there is a new product that comes out and everybody wants to try it out. We want to try it out. We want to just see what's going on there. And at the end of the day, if it's not really adding value to you, you stop using it. So how do you actually maintain and retain your customers? So those are the things that we don't look as, like, we don't try to like do research on, and also think about the product. So we always think about the product as maybe like, majority of the product that were built and failed is a personal problem that the founder or the co-founder face, and just think it's a problem of everybody, and thinks that it's something that you can scale and all that. So all those not doing the initial feasibility study about the product, it affects the growth of the product and the business as a whole.
Yeah, I agree
I don't know
with
whether
you.
I answered the
Yes,
question.
she
Yeah.
did. She did. Yes, she did. Thank you so much for that. And before we round up to this section, I would like you guys to give the audience some key takeaways. I don't know if you go ahead. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You said, sorry.
I requested for key take homes for.
Oh, okay. I want Zachary to go first on the key takeaways. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Zachary, are you there? Mr. Zachary, are you there? Hi, Mr. Zachary. Are you still in section?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yes.
Hello?
Yes, yes, I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear. I can hear you. Yes, Mr. Zachary. Can you hear me? Can anyone else hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Seems he's having network issues or something.
Maybe network. Maybe
Yeah.
internet. Okay, maybe I can just go ahead. Then yeah, maybe when it's back. So
Okay, said he got issue with his mic.
Mike, okay, that's fine. I can just go. Basically, I think Zachary was well prepared for the presentation for the what was it called, for the event than I was, as I apologized earlier on. And based on even what as like the key points that I mentioned, what was it called, from his slides, yeah, we can see that the idea is pretty much there's nobody that is an island. You can't know it all. So the idea is you need to, if you need to seek help, you seek help. So it's not about just saying that I woke up one day, I feel like building a product, and because I can write a couple of code, I'm just writing it and I'm just putting it out there. So the idea is to just think about it in a way whereby you think about this problem that you are facing. Is it a problem that everybody's facing? So you need to first do that and say that, oh, if it is a problem that everybody is facing, oh, then they need that problem needs a solution. But it's a problem that even if I'm saying everybody, I'm not saying everybody means a large number of people, not just like people in your what's it called, in your environment, or people that are close to you, or people that is just as like peculiar to, as like a problem that is peculiar to a certain individuals, or a certain age range. Do you understand? A certain tribe, a certain, so it has to be a problem that it's something that you know that is going to be scalable at the end of the day. So you have people sitting down coming up with different ideas of how, maybe like, I think one of the examples Zachary mentioned was you going to an hospital and you face a certain issue. Maybe like you're there for hours and you're wondering, why do I have to stay this long to do this? This is a problem that needs to be solved. You're thinking about it and you're saying this long, but you're not even thinking about it in a way that is there even what's it called? Does the hospital even have a proper standard what's it called, facility to even like render the service? Do you understand, on the other side? So if you are trying to build a product to say that you want to ensure that when people get to the hospital, they get attended to immediately, like they get to see the doctors immediately. Is there enough doctor to be available for this patient, for these guys to see? Do you understand? So like you have to, it's something that you have to think of broadly. So you don't have to just come up with idea and just think, oh, because this is a problem, then you need to come up with a solution. As like you need to come up with a solution. The problem has to be something that is not what's it called? Not just peculiar to you or the tribe as mentioned and all that. So the key takeaway is that nobody that is an island. If you think about a product, do a proper feasibility study about the product, whether there is like market for it, whether are people going to use it. Because another thing about African is that we find it very difficult to change things. Like, this is the way we're doing things. We're used to, this is the way we'll do it. This is still the way we'll still be doing it. And I think we now, this new generation that is getting to change easily, but the old people will still think about this is as like this is how we do things and this is how we have to be doing things. So you need to think about the adaptability. Like, is this product, is this something that people are going to like get as like use, and even if they are going to use, how seamless is it going to be for them to like solve their problem? Is it going to really add value to their life? Because for me, I don't buy into products that does not add any value to my life. Like, you don't make my, like, I can't see that value. I have to be able to see the value before I can key into that product. So you have to be able to think about it and think out of the box, and also ask. So when you see that you have it, like the product makes sense and all that, and so you partner with someone that, if you don't have the knowledge of business strategy, or if you are the other part, if you are the person that is a business person and you're thinking about the product also, just like the last what's it called, the last I think the last slide of Sakari that was talking about, it could come from the technical part to the business part, and also from the business part to the technical part. So you could be the business person and you have an idea, then the idea makes sense. You want to monetize it. come up with, you partner with a technical person that has the technical expertise to build that product. So two people coming together, at one has a business background, one has a technical background, it's like a plus, like a synergy, basically. So someone is coming up, it's the person that is having the business idea is ensuring the person that has the tech part is building efficiently. And what you guys are building is like, who is going to buy it? As Zachary said in his slides, like you need to think about it that way. Is it something that is sellable? Is it something that once I put out there, I'm going to like have like 10 times ROI of what I invested and all that? Because at the end of the day, everybody is into the business to make money. Like you are not just doing business for business sake or for having the name say that I build a product. Like you can build a product that run, but at the end of the day, you need to build a product that make money. I think it's part of what Sakari said in the slide also. So I think that's it from me, basically.
All right, thanks so much for take home. And for others on the section, I believe we all good. Said. So Zachary, do you have your mic sorted now? Do you have the issue sorted?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, I think it's fine. Uh, what did you ask me for? Like,
Yeah,
I
I
was
was.
trying to fix the mic stuff, so I
Yeah,
wasn't concentrating.
yeah. But I said we were about to round up the section and maybe we get some take homes from you. So Mrs. Aminat has given us, so you just
Okay. Yeah, that was awesome stuff she said. Like, I had a part, the key point for me, is really kind of fun. I read what she said. But if you're a business guy and you got the business keys and you're trying to build a project, what you should do is try to get someone that's technical, that has a technical skills. And if you're a technical guy and you afraid, I know the technical guys, they don't really want a business guy, but I can just say to you, if you're a technical guy, you know you don't know much about business, you only love coding, you're trying to partner or get someone that's passionate about business. He knows the business. He knows whatever it takes for the business. You try to get such persons and you kind of collaborate or you partner together to build the product. But if you're one guy that don't want to really partner with people and you want to build a project, most especially the technical guys, if you say you want to have the whole 100% of the business and all of that, there's a need for you to go learn the business aspect of it, such that you're not building stuff that people don't really want, or you're not just wasting time building stuff that at the end it's not really generating money, it's not really making anything for you. So my key point here is try to get a partner. Try to get a partner of the skills that you're missing for you to be able to build a resilient product or a scalable product. Yeah, thank you. I guess that's what I have to say.
all right, thank you so much for that. And we've come to the end of this month's edition of the ICT Career Talk. And we look forward to having to collaborate with you. Yes. Thanks so much for creating time to facilitate this section of me today. Thank you, Mr. Zakari. Thank you, Mrs. Amina. All right, so
Welcome.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. All right. So once at the end of the section, we all can now drop with our daily activities. Thank you once again for joining. Thank you, Paul.